What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League. UCL football is back, where Barcelona so far have had a great start to the group stage campaign and will look to continue that momentum into this match. This match will signify a halfway mark through the group stages, where Barcelona could walk away with 3 out of 3 wins, essentially qualifying already for the round of 16. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 6:45 p.m. local time. So we do have the early kickoff tomorrow in the Champions League, and this match will be taking place at the Estadi Olímpic Stadium in Montjuic, the home of Barcelona for this season. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed. On the pitch, it will be the Slovakia referee Ivan Kruzilak, and on the VAR, it will be the Polish referee Tomasz Kwiatkowski. Let's start off by taking a look at the group stage table, where Barcelona currently sit top of their Champions League group on 6 points. After playing 2 matches, we do have 2 wins. Second place and third place are tied on the same amount of points with 1 win, 1 loss, having played 2 games, and that is Shakhtar and Porto on 3 points again, and Royal Antwerp have lost both of their games and are currently sat on 0 points. Again, keep in mind now we are playing the double header mode now in the Champions League. So we're going to play Shakhtar at home, and then the next game will be Shakhtar away. I believe they're playing in Germany at the moment. So if we win these 2 games, essentially we basically confirmed, I would say, qualification, and you could even say top of the group. Again, we still have to play Shakhtar and Antwerp away from home. Those will be difficult. The atmosphere is going to be big. It's going to be sold out crowds. Barcelona is coming to town, so that's going to, of course, play a massive factor. But winning our home games, of course, is very vital. And, winning away from Porto is absolutely massive as well, because I look at that Porto game at home. Hopefully, we'll have a lot of the players back by then. We should probably win that game. You're looking at 12 points there, and I think we'll wait and see how the other teams do against each other as well. We get some draws here and there. Maybe Porto and Antwerp, we might see a upset. But at this point, with us, like I said in the last Champions League video, with us being Porto away, I think that essentially confirms at least qualification. I wouldn't say we're gonna guarantee top spot, but we should comfortably finish in that position. But again, we're on the right track, have the right moment, and again, qualifying first is important because you want to get the draw in the round 16 against the teams that finish second in the group. You don't want to finish with the teams in the first in the group. It's going to be tough matchups. We saw that when we did that a few years ago as well. So gotta focus on the task at hand, and right now Barcelona are definitely on track for qualification and finishing top of their group. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Shakhtar Donetsk. If you don't know, Shakhtar are a Ukrainian side. They're probably the most historic Ukrainian side that's ever played football. They've been in the Champions now for numerous amount of years in a row. If you don't remember, they've been in Real Madrid's group, I think, for like the past 3 or 4 Champions League campaigns. But this season, of course, the past season they've been dominating the Ukrainian league. But this season, Shakhtar have been absolutely all over the place. Firstly, in the Ukrainian league, they are currently sat in 3rd place on 21 points. After playing 10 matches, they have 6 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss. Another best start for them. But again, they have played 1 game less. So if they played that game, I think the game got cancelled. So they played that game, they will be top of the table by just 1 point. But of course, they go out there and win that match. So far, you could say, for their expectations, not really going as planned. Now, if you take a look at the last 6 matches in all competition, in their last match, they beat LNZ 2-0, or 3-0, sorry, over the past weekend. They beat some other team 2-0, which, of course, that led to the game getting suspended. The team they beat 2-0, by the way, was actually a friendly. We'll talk about that later on. Their last match in the Champions League was very, very crazy, as they beat Royal Antwerp away 3-2. They lost 2-1 to Vorskia in the Ukrainian league, and they also beat some team 3-0. So we're going to take a look at the last 3 matches of all competition. Firstly, we do have that match against Royal Antwerp. Now, Royal Antwerp were 2-0 up around the hour mark, and Shakhtar came back to win the game 3-2 in Belgium. It was combined with Royal Antwerp mistakes and Shakhtar being clinical. Their goalkeeper had an absolute howler. Royal Antwerp goalkeeper had an absolute howler at the back of the net. But again, you have to give credit where it's due to Shakhtar. They really put in a performance, especially in that second half. And this is the team that you cannot be sleeping on too much. You can't just say, oh, this is a crap side, just give them the freedom. They're not at the Royal Antwerp level. I think they're definitely a step above it. I think if they were in La Liga, they would finish around mid-table between, I would say, 12th and 8th and 7th ish. So they're still very, very decent side, and they can definitely squeeze out results. And this for them was an absolutely unbelievable performance, unbelievable result as well, that puts them in contention for the Europa League spot, and maybe, just maybe, finishing second in this group. Next up is a friendly match that they played. As you saw, they got their match postponed. They were quite inactive for a while, so they played some friendly match. They won 2-0. I mean, I'm not going to analyze the friendly game, but there you go. So from that game against Antwerp, if you go back to the games played from October 4th to 15th, no matches played whatsoever. So that's quite a long break, around 11 days. But then, of course, they came back into action this weekend where they did win 3-0 in the league. And again, it's very hard to analyze Shakhtar because of their coaching situation. We'll talk about that in just a few seconds. But again, comfortable performance from them. They're facing one of the lower sides in the Ukrainian league. And again, it was their striker who was coming out on top for them. And again, you can see the regular personnel in their side as well. No real changes in terms of rotation and such. But in the end, it was a comfortable on paper 3-0 victory. So overall, final thoughts on Shakhtar Donetsk. I think on paper in the Ukrainian league, they're definitely one of the better teams. But in the Champions League, they've gotten up some decent results. You're probably wondering who their manager is, and to be honest, I have absolutely no idea. So the man you see on the left was their original manager. I think his name is Igor Lewandowski or something like that. He was sacked during the international break. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they're lacking in the Ukrainian league. Again, they are third with the game less played, only 1 point ahead. Maybe he had some trouble with the boardroom. I have no idea. He was sacked. Caretaker manager comes in, and that is their sporting director, Dario Serna. If you don't know Serna, he was a great right back in his day, and he was linked with Barcelona a lot to come in to provide competition coverage. I think for Dani Alves at the time, even when we signed Alex Vidal and Nelson Semedo, he was always linked with us. Very, very good player. And then now they appointed this morning the Feyenoord assistant manager. I think his name is like Mark Pusevsky or something like that as their new manager. So I believe Dario Serna will be on the touchline tomorrow. Again, he was the one who managed the 3-0 victory over the past weekend. The friendly match, I don't even think they had a coach. I think it was probably Dario Serna. And then the one before that, where they came back 3-2, it was Igor Lewandowski, the one who got sacked during the international break. So their manager position is absolutely all over the place. And the fact that they have no concrete manager should be a huge advantage to Barcelona. But again, that's what I mean that's what I meant earlier when they said they're all over the place. Now performing too well in the Ukrainian league, doing okay in the Champions League, and had 3 managers, you could say, in the past 3 games or 4 games that they end up playing. Now, let's look out for it. They have a few decent players. Their center back, the bald one, he's very, very good. He's been playing at Shakhtar for quite some time now. They have the striker up front who's very good. They have their pivot who's very good, and also their attacking midfielder. You're probably asking me what their names are. I don't even know how to pronounce half of them. Like, it's ridiculous. But they have decent players here and there. A lot of their team is made mainly from youngsters. They have Chigrevsky, of course, the former Barcelona player, back in the day, known as the worst signing in Barcelona history. He plays for Shakhtar as well. It'd be really, really cool to see him come off the bench and see the reception that he gets from the stadium. Xavi to talk about him in the press conference. We'll talk about that in just a few seconds. But apart from that, it's your regular Ukrainian Shakhtar side with, not that big personnel. Of course, the last biggest star was Modric. They've created many stars back in the day. Willian, Mkhitaryan, Luis Adriano. So the team is full of history. They have a stamp on the Champions League, and they will make this match very, very difficult. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list for this match has been released and confirmed, and it is as follows: Ter Stegen, Cancelo, Balde, Araujo, Martinez, Ferran, and Peña, Felix, Christensen, Marcos Alonso, Romeu, Gundogan, Astralaga, Lamine Yamal, Casado, Fermin, Cobrasi, Garrido, Gui, and Fort. So from the last squad list, a lot of inclusions of some B team players. No returns from injury whatsoever. Roberto is still out. Koundé is still out. De Jong is still out. Raphinha is still out. Lewandowski is still out. And of course, Gavi is suspended. And Pedri still out. And of course, Gavi for this match is suspended from a yellow card accumulation. So good little rest for him. But again, we are lacking a lot of first team players. Only 12 first team players in this squad list. But a massive opportunity for some of these B team players. Let's now get into the press conference reaction of Ferran Torres. As we all know, in the Champions League press conference, a player always accompanies the manager. And today, Ferran Torres was selected. Good chance for him starting the match if he was selected as the player to represent the players. So let's get and see what Ferran Torres had to say this morning in the press conference. He came out saying that you can't focus on that game quite yet. Of course, talking about the Clasico, you have to focus on the next match, add 3 points, and be closer to qualification. Afterwards, we will focus on Madrid. He was asked on Pedri's recovery, saying that he needs to focus on coming back, but without rushing the process, and soon he will be with us. He was just talking about scoring goals off the bench, saying that simply every time I'm on the field, it does not matter if I'm a starter or as a substitute, I'll try to give my best and help by scoring or assisting. I always have positive confidence. I feel that the team will give everything. Barcelona is obliged to win and play well. The Champions League is the Champions League, and getting 3 points is extra motivation for the upcoming weekend. Then asked on his relationship with Xavi, saying that he has always been there for me. He has given me good advice, and he has always made me play. He is one of those who gives me confidence to come when I sign, and he has always given me the confidence that I needed. Then he's asked on the pressure, saying that yes, Barcelona is a club obliged to win all competitions, and yes, the environment sometimes throws stones at its roof, but it goes with the history of the club. It is obliged to win, and the pressure is there in the end, and it is good pressure. He then asked on Marc Guiu on his debut, saying that Guiu has helped us as much as possible. In 35 seconds he scored. He has the quality to succeed. Finally, he was asked on himself, and I've always have complete confidence in myself. I can improve in many things. I feel important. For me, this has been key to participate. For me, it was key to participate. For me, it was key to participate in the preseason and also other signings as well. Competition is always good. And that concluded Ferran Torres' press conference reaction ahead of the match against Shakhtar Donetsk tomorrow. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of the manager, Xavi Hernandez, who of course his press conference this morning. That's a lot of questions in the media about the injuries, currency of the squad, Clasico, upcoming matches, referees, everything as per usual. So let's go and see what the Gav had to say this morning in the presser. He came out saying that for us, this is a vital match, transcended for the possible qualification for the round 16. These are 3 key points for qualification, which of course is the objective. Shakhtar are well equipped technically. They can put us in trouble. If we think it will be easy, we will have the chance to lose this game. Xavi was then asked on the injuries, and the injured players are not at 100%, and that is why they are not in the squad list. The evolution will say, I am still optimistic that someone will reach the Clasico. It does not change anything. Essentially at this point, there's none of the injured players are starting the Clasico. So for me, there's no point of even, risking them or bringing them in whatsoever, but we are hearing that it is Lewandowski and Raphinha who are the closest to returning. Pedri won't be back till we're hearing now November. Then as on Pedri, again the report saying that Pedri will not be back won't be back until November against Sociedad on I think November the 4th or something like that. Xavi said this, look, there has been no setbacks. The sensations are what they are, those set by the player. We're trying to avoid any relapses, which is why we are cautious. It is in timing that we believe will be appropriate. So he said that there's no relapse for Pedri, just on his feeling, and again, we don't want to risk anything whatsoever. Xavi was then asked on referees, saying that I've already said this, my opinion has not changed. I don't like that it is conditioned by referees' establishments. They make mistakes, but we have to help them. I believe a lot in their honesty, and there is no need to put pressure on them. I think Xavi there is trying to get on the referee's good side. Then as on İlkay Gundogan, said he's had a very good start to the season. I'm very happy with him. He is adapting well. Give pause. He understands and he knows what to play on because he has worked on it at his old club. He is priceless. He gives us time and he is fundamental for the team. Then as on Gavi running a lot, saying that you generated, it's always said that it's essential, but he is inevitable. From here on, he's going to give us with or without the ball. He will be missed, especially against a rival with high physical and technical level like Shakhtar. Then asked if he's going to test anything in this game, try anything new. He said, look, this is not the time to test or to change things, but rather for being practical and showing our game model, our identity. We're not going to make any important new development. We have to come from the path that we are coming from, not to try, but we are doing very well. He was then asked on Shakhtar again, saying that it's not easy. Shakhtar has a situation beyond football. For them, it is very difficult, many days away from home and away from their families. Then asked on the Barca fans, of course, tomorrow another home game, saying that we need the people, we will play for them. If we won titles, it was thanks to them. We need them. It is important that they come and enjoy. Then he was asked on the isolation from the Clasico, and there's no need to isolate anyone. It is the Champions League. It is vital to have good feelings and to do 9 out of 9 points in the Champions League. It is also very vital for the club to get out of the group stages of the Champions League. It is asked on the youngsters, saying that Gui, Lamine Yamal, and others are very humble people. It's fundamental in life and in sport. Mark has trained hard. Lamine has the same, and Fermin did. For those who came up, I don't see a problem in management on a human level. Then he was asked on La Masia in the best Barca teams in history. There's always been a lot of players in La Masia. There are 12 in the call today. If you want to count Romeu, it is a pride. The people of home have the extra motivation and extra commitment. Then asked on Ancelotti's statement on the referees. If you saw Ancelotti after the match against Sevilla the weekend, he was, going ham at the referee. He said that, look, Ancelotti is right, that if we talk about the referees, we will be penalized. Therefore, you have to be careful with the vocabulary. What I don't think is that you have to put pressure on them, but I think it is possible to speak whether the play is a penalty or not. This is football. You can talk. I think it would be good if they talk too. So Xavi has always been adamant that the referee should be doing post-match press conferences after the game, saying the decisions and why they did that. Xavi was then asked on complaints, saying that, look, there are none of us, but sometimes it comes naturally to you. If you think that you have been harmed, like in Getafe with the penalty or in Granada, in the end you get it, but complaints are useless. And finally, Xavi was asked on Ferran Torres scoring goals, and there are two perceptions. Scoring a goal is important, but not as important as believing it. Scoring in goals into space with the goal gives the forward confidence. Now Ferran has more confidence in being a good player. And that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Shakhtar Donetsk tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think it will be fairly simple to predict, barring, of course, maybe a couple of changes here and there, but I think Xavi will go with a strong side. I think Xavi will go with this lineup on the screen right now. I think he'll go with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Araujo, Christensen, Inigo Martinez, and Marcos Alonso, midfield three of Romeu, Fermin Lopez, and Ilkay Gundogan, and a front three of Lamine Yamal, Joao Felix, and Ferran Torres. I think Xavi will make two changes from the last match, or three changes, which is, of course, benching both fullbacks, Cancelo, Balde, resting them for the Clasico, bringing in Araujo at right back, because, of course, Roberto is out injured and Araujo needs minutes. Alonso is rumored to be coming in with Balde picking up a bit of a cramp in the last game, and he was promised to be rested midweek. Lamine Yamal will come in on the right-hand side because, of course, he did not start. The past weekend, it was 4 in the midfield for Barcelona, and since Gavi is out, Lamine Yamal will essentially come in. Apart from that, I don't see any changes. Of course, Xavi could start Cancelo, have Araujo at center back alongside maybe Inigo Martinez. I think dropping Inigo Martinez for this game would be absolutely idiotic. We know that probably Christensen or Araujo will start the Clasico, but hey, Inigo Martinez can maybe make his case. Again, with that left foot on that left center back spot, he's looking absolutely fantastic. Midfield three, of course, only midfield that we do have, and the front three is the only front three we have. So if it's, I think from this lineup, maybe one of Cancelo or Balde will start. Hopefully not, but that's definitely a possibility. I think Xavi's game plan is to go out there, win the game early, then on the hour, maybe mark, maybe even halftime, take off Felix, take off Gundogan, take off Christensen to, rest them and, secure them essentially for the Clasico. But I think this will be the lineup that Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Xavi will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach, and I have made a few changes from Xavi's lineup selection. I have gone with this lineup on the screen right now. I've gone with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Araujo, Christensen, Inigo Martinez, Marcos Alonso, midfield three of Romeu, Marc Casado, and Fermin Lopez, and a front three of Lamine Yamal, Marc Gueyu, and Ferran Torres. So here's my mindset. I'm making the lineup. I'm thinking Cancelo, Felix, Gundogan, 100% are not playing for me. We are so squad thin to the point that if we suffer one more injury to one of these three players, might as well not even show up for the Clasico. So that was my mindset. So I rested Gundogan, I put in Casado, give him a run out. He's been in the around the B team in first team for quite some time now. Marc Gueyu, of course, came on and scored. You have to reward that, and you give Felix a rest, and Marc Gueyu will be around Ferran Torres with that experience. And of course, Lamine Yamal, him and Marc Gueyu have been playing for the under-17s for Spain and in the Barcelona academy for quite some time now, so that chemistry is there. Apart from that, same thing as Xavi, again, that back five I think is set in stone. I think Araujo right back gets some good minutes at right back. If it's maybe Xavi will play Araujo at right back for the Clasico as well. We might even see Cancelo get rested for 2 games. Maybe Xavi will play Cancelo because he wants to put Araujo at right back. A lot of if, buts, and maybe, but my mindset is rest Cancelo because I want to play him in the Clasico, but I would have Araujo at right back in this game. Apart from that, I think there can be really no other changes. Of course, you have Hector Font in the squad, then you have other B team players, but like Xavi said in the press conference, starting 3 or 4 of them would just, cause a huge risk, because if they do a mistake, it'll kill their confidence and then the game won't go well. But I think this team 100% has the capabilities to beat Shakhtar, especially with them not having a manager and their situation, and us being at home as well. So this would be the lineup that I was like for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you'd rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? Like I've been saying with the lineups, I think this will be a win for Barcelona. I have gone Barcelona win this match by 2-0. I think Shakhtar are a very well organized side, so I don't think it will be a mauling like Royal Antwerp, but I think Shakhtar do have a lot of experience in the Champions League as well. Definitely can see us conceding for sure if it's as a chance, but for me, it depends on what Xavi selects as his lineup. If he goes strong, like I think he will, I think the game will be won hopefully in the first hour. Then after that, you kind of slow roll the game, take off your players, rest them, and just go through the motions. If you select my lineup, of course, it will be a bit more difficult, but I think in the end, the job will get done. I think if Shakhtar score first, you're looking at a draw because at home, with the rotated side, it will be difficult. If Xavi starts a strong side, we can see it first and still think we can get back into the game. But most important thing I think Barcelona coming into this match is to keep a clean sheet. If you keep a clean sheet, I have no doubt the attack will create a chance and end up scoring. So overall, I think Barcelona will win this match. I have gone with Barcelona winning this match by 2-0. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the score line will be. So that was my match preview for Barcelona versus Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on those lineups. First, you would rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup. What do you think Xavi would go with? What would you go with? You're the manager. Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me. Follow share for the match by match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead. Let's get these 3 points and end off this group stage on a high, and even end off early as well. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.